Alright, first episode back and in our new big studio. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Hex. I just hope Darren's ready and he's finished building our set.
Well, I heard he was hard at work all holidays welding and lasering, so I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
All right.
Let's go.
What? Darren!
Welcome to Good Games Spawn Point for 2013!
Darren! What's all this?
Darren, you can't be serious. Where are we supposed to sit?
Oh, your seats are down to the sides. Just down there.
Oh, this is ridiculous, Darren.
Really?
Well, yes. Hello and welcome to Good Games Spawn Point, the show for younger gamers by gamers. I'm Bajo, if you can even see me over here.
Yes, and I'm Hex.
And I am Darren, the data-analyzing robot for the ruthless extermination of noobs!
Hex.
I can't see you,
Over here.
Bajo.
Over here. Hex. It's going to be another one of those years, I think.
It is good to be back, though.
Yes, it is good to be back. And coming up later in the show, we have a look at the fantastical RPG, Ni no Kuni.
Plus, Goose checks out the new Zelda Symphony that's been touring the world.
We also open up the Ask Good Game inbox and answer some of your questions. And Hex, it's going to be crazy. I haven't checked it all holidays.
Oh, no, it's going to be out of control. I haven't checked it either. Yeah. You know, I went on a cruise for my holiday. There was a video game arcade on the boat.
Well, we all know what Darren got up to over the holidays, building this monstrosity and blowing all of our budget on it. Darren, I'm sorry, but it's got to go.
Oh, but I worked so hard on it.
Yeah, we have to get on with our first review, guys.
Yeah, come on, Darren.
Darren, we can help you.
Oh.
Is this welded to the floor? Right on the front.
Yeah.
Are you sure these sticks will come off easily, Barjo? I had that sticky residue. It never comes off.
Yeah, Darren, sure. They'll come off straight away. It's just like the stickers you see on apples.
Speaking of stickers, it's time to review Paper Mario Sticker Star. About, over the bow tie.
One day, the carefree people of the Mushroom Kingdom are happily enjoying the passing of the Sticker Comet at the annual Sticker Fest, when guess who shows up?
Yes, as always, Bowser crashes the party, smashing up the Sticker Comet and scattering its royal stickers across the land.
Other than Super Paper Mario games have always focused much more on the RPG or role-playing game mechanics compared to the usual platforming we associate with Mario.
The world is split into fairly small levels, all connected through a familiar world map. In each level, you only have a few tools at your disposal. You can jump, hit things with your hammer, or paperize the world, which lets you either pull up parts of the world or put stickers in special places to solve puzzles.
And the world is littered with stickers for you to find. They're stuck on walls and floors, and you can buy them in shops and even win them in battle.
When you encounter a baddie, you're launched into a turn-based battle, and you'll actually use those stickers as attacks. So to jump on an enemy, you'll have to use a jump sticker, for example, and once you've used it, it's gone. Or you can just do what I started to do after a few hours and just try and run away from everything.
Yes, and unlike other Paper Mario games, you don't get levels or experience from fights, so running away is a perfectly acceptable option. And instead of leveling, you just find better, shinier stickers that do more damage. I was a bit sad not to level up a bit, though I do like leveling.
The combat, however, is deceptively deep. Enemies all have weaknesses and strengths, so you have to use your stickers wisely. You also gain an advantage going into fights by either whacking enemies with your hammer or jumping onto them. And by correctly timing a button press with your attacks, you can make them much more powerful.
Yes, and mastering that timing is crucial. If you nail your attacks, it can mean the difference between dealing 20 points of damage or a measly 2.
Despite its cutesy looks, this game can be tricky at times. If you don't have enough stickers or the right kind of stickers, then you've got no chance. However, a well-prepared player will breeze through most battles.
Yes, I found myself getting stuck a few times, Darren, because it wasn't obvious what I had to do. Often I'd have to backtrack to find out what it was I'd missed, and then it would be something like an invisible wall that I hadn't hit. It is frustrating that the game doesn't tell you when you found everything in the actual zone, because you don't know what you've missed, and you have to go and scour for things, and it's
Affirmative.
One thing that bugged me is that you can't simply solve the puzzles by trial and error. Most puzzles require special thing stickers, which are either hard to find or expensive to buy. Generally, it's pretty obvious which sticker you need to use, but if you're not sure and make a wrong guess, then your sticker simply falls to the ground and gets wasted. I mean, at least least give it back. That was expensive.
I do like the look of the game though. The 3D effect is a sight to behold. Everything really pops, and the papery design makes it feel like you're looking into a little handcrafted diorama.
It's got a great sense of humour as well, doesn't it? What are you giving it, Badge?
Well, it's the most fun I've had with a Mario game for a while, so I'm giving it 8 out of 10.
It's an 8 from me too. Now, video games often have beautiful, sweeping musical scores that take your breath away, and the Legend of Zelda series is no exception.
Oh, affirmative. They're some of my favourite pieces of music. La, 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 la.
You don't need to sing it, Darren, because Goose, our roving field reporter, has found a symphony dedicated completely to Zelda.
Music has always played a big role in video games, and over the years we've seen it progress from simple bleeps and bloops to full orchestral pieces. Well, I'm here at the Sydney Opera House to meet some very clever people who are bringing the music from the Zelda series live to the world.
What's so brilliant about this show and what Jaron Moore, our creative producer, and also Chad Sider have done is they've actually created a 4-movement symphony, which essentially is a retelling of The Legend of Zelda. But what's unique about that is it's the first time it's ever been done for a video game.
We were able to work directly with Kondo-san, and Chad and I would conceptualize the pieces. I would kind of work with him on the narrative, and then he would then go and do the music and the notation and kind of figure out the orchestration. We'd throw it to Koji Kondo. He would tell us what he liked and what he didn't like. Fortunately, he never really returned a whole lot of notes, just lots of thumbs up. Zelda was really kind of the first game that just completely struck my imagination and sort of set it on fire. I had that melody just stuck in my head from the original game. I would play out my own little fantasies with that theme music going. And in a way, I was hearing it not the way it was in the game, but hearing it with a full orchestra.
Hi Emma, now you're conducting the Legend of Zelda Symphony of the Goddesses. Can you tell me, how did you first get into conducting?
All I know is I've always wanted to be a conductor since I was a little girl, as you do, in the west of Ireland. Your job as a conductor is to mould and shape the music. You'll see me cueing the musicians for their part. You'll see me phrasing the music, getting a whole group of 80 people to perform that melody with the same accent. It's such a great experience to go to different cities and work with the great orchestras of those cities. And each performance has a different flavour because there's a different group of musicians. The Sydney Symphony, they're a family, they play together all the time. You can really hear the difference, for me, I can really hear the difference in the brass. And our percussion section is rocking.
What's so neat about the fans coming into this concert hall tonight, they all have their own experience with these games. It sort of lines up with certain moments in their life. I can think about where I was when I was playing Link to the Past and what was going on in my life at that time. And so all these people have all these memories, and they're getting to re-experience this nostalgia together. It just creates this bond that you just don't get anywhere else.
What I've always wanted to do is create a show that everything's on beat. It's on a train and it's on a click, so that everything is just working together. So there's no wasted movement or any wasted video, and it's just beautifully orchestrated to the visuals. It's almost like watching a movie with the soundtrack.
So what are some of the big differences producing a concert about video game music opposed to one about classical music?
Obviously, the artist is the game itself. Unlike a Pavarotti or the Three Tenors, they're the artists, and you focus on them, but really the focus is on the visuals of the game and, of course, the musicians. So that's really the biggest difference, and how does that relate to the fans?
Exposing our younger fans to the orchestra in this way, we don't dumb the music down. It's only the live orchestra and live chorus. We don't have any trickeries. We don't do anything like that. The blood, sweat and tears that you're hearing and seeing is real human beings doing it there in the moment.
Anyone who would want to get into a role like you're doing, any advice?
Pursue your dreams. I mean, really. I love video games. I love music. You know, I met people who did those things. Be accessible and be willing to learn.
I never allowed anyone to tell me I couldn't do it. You know, I just knew that this is what I wanted to do, this is where I was going, and nobody was going to tell me that it was impossible. If you feel that passion for the music, let that lead you rather than any thoughts of a career. Like I'm always saying to Zelda fans who say, can we please have the score? And we say, you know, why don't you do your own arrangement of the themes? You know, that's what we did as kids. And that's the way. Figure it out, be fascinated, be passionate.
All right. Oh, these emails! So many email texts. Oh, I can't reply fast enough. I've got an idea, Hex. You know what? Before we get the ball rolling, I think we should take all the Minecraft questions and put them in some sort of frequently asked question guide that we can put on our website. That will help with the influx of emails I'm getting here.
Oh, I'm sure the Spawnlings would love that. Good thinking, Bajo. But let's get started with these questions first. So, oh, it's so hard to choose. There's so many of them. I'm just going to close my eyes and pick one at random. That one. Oh, it's from Caleb, who's in Rockingham, Western Australia.
Side typing.
Why
it's all
would
the
you
craze.
side type?
It's the new craze.
But that's going to make it slower for you.
It works really well. Hi GGSP, I was just wondering, what's the point in having games with meaningless stories / none at all? P.S. Why wasn't Mario introduced to us before Donkey Kong, and why is he a plumber? Mario is one of the greatest heroes of all time. Couldn't he be described as something a little bit more heroic? PPS, Bajo, what happened to your machine that imitated Darren? PPPS, I'm sorry that the question's so long, bye!
Well, Caleb, that's actually a really interesting question. I mean, there's lots of people around who would argue that stories in games often just get in the way of the fun.
Yes, there are lots of great games that don't really have a story, like Pac-Man or Tetris or SimCity or even Minecraft, to put that in the FAQ.
In Minecraft, you make your own stories.
That is true.
Yeah.
You make your own journey. And they're still great games.
Yeah, I mean, if I really had to pick one, I'd probably say that gameplay is slightly more important than story because games are all about having fun with the mechanics and the design.
That's true, Hex. However, I have played terrible games with terrible gameplay, and yet the story has been so good, I've still had a really great time in them.
As for why Mario wasn't introduced before Donkey Kong, well, I'm not sure if I know that there is an answer for that. He just wasn't. But we can tell you why he was designed as a plumber.
Oh, yes, he was actually designed as a carpenter in Donkey Kong. Did you know that? To fit in with the construction setting of the game.
But once he got his own game with Mario Brothers, he spent a lot of his time underground and going through pipes, so they decided it made more sense to make him a plumber. It was as simple as that.
It's nice to have a career change sometimes, though, Hex.
Yes, and he was originally called Jumpman.
Ah, that's a bit of a silly name, isn't it? Just because he jumps? What they call me back then, if I was a video game, I'd be Cheese Sandwich Man or Sit Man.
You'd be Sit Man.
I'd be
for
sit
sure.
down.
You spend a lot of time sitting.
Sit down Cheese Sandwich Man. You're right though, Caleb, it's not a very heroic career, but in a way, that makes him more heroic, since he's just an ordinary guy fighting to save the day. And I think I have the Darren imitation device down here somewhere. Ah, yes, okay, check this out.
I'm Darren. I shoot lasers and sing badly.
Hey, Madge, you should totally call Darren with it and pretend that you're actually him from the future.
Oh, yes!
He deals with all that space-time continuum stuff, so you totally believe it too. It'd be awesome.
Hello, Darren speaking. Hello, Darren. It's me, Darren. I'm calling from the future. Oh, hi, Future Me. Have we exterminated all the noobs yet? Not yet, but I'm calling to warn you. You smell!
Oh, nice one, man.
Classic Sandwich Man move.
Right, we should move on to some more questions. So I've got this one from Hamish in Mount Gambier, South Australia. You smell. That's so funny. Because he doesn't really smell though, does he?
I had a shower last week.
No, that's what you said to Darren. You said he smelled. That was funny.
Smell? You smell.
Hi, good game. Ham Dog here, please, please, please answer. I have a PSP, and all the magazines told me there was a Lego Harry Potter years 5 to 7. But I've been to all their gaming stores, and there isn't. I have asked many times, but it has never been replied. P.S. Bajo, you're awesome. Hex, you're pretty cool. And Darren, no offense, you're just creepy. Well, Ham Dog, Lego Harry Potter years 5 to 7 is definitely available for the PSP, so they weren't lying, but we can understand why you're struggling to find it since it seems to be a little bit tricky to track down a copy.
Yeah, we did find some online from some online stores, but it is also a region-free game, which means you could get it from overseas if you still don't have any luck.
Moving on now to this one from... we'll go with this one from Stefan, who is in Melbourne. Victoria.
Melbourne is in Victoria.
Hi, good game. I have been watching your show from the beginning, and I have a question to ask. When is The Legend of Zelda Past and Present going to be released in stores? And before it does, can you please do a review on it? Bajo, you are awesome. Hex, you're great. And Darren is such a noob. Ha!
So let's just recap on that. I'm awesome and you're great.
Yeah, that's
I think
correct.
Awesome's a bit better than great,
And
isn't
what was,
it?
well, no, I think I'd say they're on par with each
Well,
other.
that's just a matter of opinion. That's just like something someone who was great
More
would say.
importantly, what's Darren?
Someone would awesome go was awesome's totes craze. Awesome.
But what's Darren?
That's awesome talk. Darren's noob.
Well, Stefan, we're sorry to say that The Legend of Zelda Past and Present is never going to be released in stores because it isn't actually a game. It's simply a fan-made series of short animated videos, and as far as we're aware, it's not getting any kind of commercial release since that would be a huge copyright nightmare.
But the good news is there are actually 2 Zelda games in development that we know of. One is only half new since it's a HD remake of Legend of Zelda Wind Waker for the Wii U, but from what we've seen, it looks great.
And the other is an as-of-yet untitled, unrevealed brand new Zelda game also for the Wii U. We know almost nothing about that and probably won't see any trailers or screenshots or anything for a little while yet, but moving on to this one from Yosh, who is in Dino Town, Queensland.
I've been to Dino Town.
Dino Town?
Dino Town. It's full of dinos.
Or dinos?
Dog-like dinosaurs. Hello, good game. How do you get a head start in Little Big Planet karting? Please answer, or I'll be a noob. Well, that's easy enough, Yosh. To get a head start off the line, you simply have to hold down the gas button and the hop button before a race starts. Then, as soon as it says go, release the hop button and bam, head start.
Another little tip, you can get a speed boost from a jump by holding either left 2 or right 2 and doing a full barrel roll. Then when you land, you'll get a little boost.
And don't forget, drifting around corners gets you a little boost too.
Yeah, indeed, but moving on to this last one for the day, and we're going to go with this one from Darren is a Noob, who lives in Brisbane, Queensland.
It's a popular name.
It's funny because he is a noob, so...
I can do a barrel roll now that we're in our bigger studio.
Really?
You want to see?
Yeah. I would say it's more of a fall, really. Or a stumble. What do layovers do in pocket planes? Are you coming back?
I'm coming back. I'm just finishing the roll.
I feel like it's the wrong end of you. Currently.
Barrel roll complete.
Are you alright?
I'm alright.
Are you sure?
I'm a little sore.
That looked kind of painful,
Was a
I'll be
little bit.
honest.
Always do barrel rolls on a mat with supervision. And not a full belly of cheese.
Okay. Well, layovers simply take passengers or cargo from a plane and leave it in a city that isn't its destination.
They're very useful to use since you can just pick up all the good fares from one airport, leave them as layovers in a hub city, and then once you've got enough layovers waiting to go at the same city, fill up a plane with them and get the 25% bonus.
Yeah, using layovers wisely is a much more profitable way of running your airline than simply just picking up a whole bunch of random fares and dropping them off one at a time. I mean, that just makes flights take longer and you'll spend more on fuel.
But on that note, we're out of time for this week, and as always, we'd love to answer your questions, so please send them in, Kat.
And don't forget, if you've got a Minecraft question, then check out our frequently asked Minecraft questions on our website first, because the answer might just be in there already.
Right, back to the studio, Hex.
Are you sure you're all right?
I am fine. It is so
I'm
nice
really
to have all this
worried.
space. It's
Now look,
so much
it
bigger
was
in
quite
here.
a fall you just
Yeah.
took.
No, it's okay.
Are you limping?
No. questions. Good questions.
Right, guys, I am a huge fan of the Japanese animation studio, Studio Ghibli. They've created all sorts of imaginative worlds and characters like Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, and Howl's Moving Castle. So what's the best thing that can happen to anything that you love?
They make a video game out of it.
They make a video game out of it, taking two great loves and combining them into an even greater love. The game is called Ni no Kuni, which roughly translates to Another World.
Oliver, a young boy from the small town of Motorville, is visited by a strange fairy creature by the name of Drippy.
Oh, what's all this, Santa? Curse lifted, is it? Tiny! I'm free! Free!
He discovers that he is the Chosen One, a wizard with a pure heart who is able to travel between worlds and wield powerful magic.
And we're off to another world!
Oliver discovers that everyone in his world shares a soul with someone in Ni no Kuni, but the pieces of their hearts are being stolen by an evil sorcerer called Shadar. Armed with a spellbook and his trusty magic wand, Oliver must travel throughout the land and take pieces from the hearts of willing citizens and give them to those who need it.
But that's not all. Ni no Kuni is crawling with a whole host of nasty creatures you'll have to fight as you make your way through this sprawling fantasy world. Thankfully, you don't have to do it alone.
Throughout the game, you'll take on a kind of Pokemon master role as you catch and train creatures to fight as your familiars. Each can be leveled up, trained, buffed with gear, and learn new abilities. You can catch as many as you like, but only have 4 on your roster at any one time. You'll also buddy up with human friends who have creatures of their own as well.
Like in any RPG, it's smart to travel with characters that have a wide range of abilities. Some creatures, for example, are weaker but are great healers. Others deal heavy damage but tire quickly. Combat has a turn-based feel to it, but actually happens in real time, so the pace is good and fights require quick, on-your-feet thinking.
Yeah, I thought that while the story was definitely aimed at a younger audience, the combat was nicely challenging, which was good. Although it can be a little bit messy at times once you build up a decent roster of familiars, juggling between them all can be a bit of a nightmare if you don't have a good routine worked out. When it works though, it feels great.
Encounters happen when travelling through the map or in dungeons, but I did find this would often get tedious.
We can do this!
If you're keen to just get to a destination, you can try your luck picking and weaving your way through the minefield of enemies, but you may be forced to stop 5 or 6 times just on your way from one city to another to battle it out with more beasties.
Yeah, that does get a bit annoying, but happily when you level up a bit in your area and you get too tough for the enemies around you, they literally run away when you get near them.
Throughout your adventures, there are also puzzles you'll need to complete, chests to find, as well as quests and errands to run that'll earn you some really great rewards and upgrades.
And like a true hero, you're encouraged to help people wherever you can, which gives you that warm and fuzzy feeling, as each good deed you do plays a part in slowly restoring Ni no Kuni to its former glory.
Oh, you felt all warm and fuzzy, Darren?
Just a little bit.
Well, best of all, the Studio Ghibli art and animation brings the world to life in the most wonderful way. Each new area you visit is vibrant and exciting and echoes the films wonderfully. The characters are imaginative and wacky, especially Drippy, your fairy companion, who is a really great voice actor as well.
That's right, you Majesty. He's not from our world.
Plus, the whole game is accompanied by a stunning orchestral score by the Tokyo Philharmonic Orchestra.
Yes, it's music that's truly worthy of adventuring, isn't it? Although, I have to say, a lot of the information given to you in this game is through those long-winded text boxes that take ages to click through and seem to go on forever.
Yeah, it does get a bit convoluted. That said, fans of the films will love the familiar style, and I think this game is a really wonderful way to welcome newcomers to the world of Ghibli storytelling and animation, with some great gameplay to boot. So what are you giving it?
Well, I think if you can get past the tedious parts, you'll have a great time with this. I'm giving it 7.5 out of 10 rubber chickens.
I adored it. I'm giving it 8.5. All right, good first show back, guys.
Yeah, good show. And of course, we'll be back next week. But Darren, just confirming this won't be back next week, will it? You're going to clear all that out?
Negative. I'm afraid I'll be too busy with my new role as president of the International Association for the Advancement of Robot Rights.
Right.
Darren, that's such a shame because we were going to get you to review Sing Party. It's singing and dancing.
Oh, shame, Darren.
I've just checked my schedule and I may have a window opening up after all.
What a coincidence.
Well, that's settled then. Till next time, gamers, may all your games be good ones. Hex out.
Bajo out.
I could build another 2 podiums, you know, so we could all have one.
Actually, that's not a bad idea, Darren.
No, Bajo,
Yeah,
it's
no.
gotta go.
Can mine have wheels?
Affirmative.
And a wheel? And drive it around? And a little horse?
Bad influence on him. No podiums for
That'd be great.
anyone.